High. That's all praises to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son. I'm Officer Ayatana Yah, my reader. Introduce yourself.
Yatazar Bon Lawyer.
I got the brother here, the soldier. Go ahead.
Kabbalah.
And we out here on the Feast of First Fruits, you know, gathering together with the Akim, gathering together with brothers. It's a beautiful thing. We coming together. SICARRI brothers, AZ Mob brothers, same brothers that's not with any particular camp at this moment yet. You know, coming together in unity like it's supposed to be. All right, because that's the spirit of the Feast of First Fruits in the first place. We're going to go over that. So first we're going to start with the law, where it says that we got to keep this feast. Go ahead and read that, brother.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 9.
Bring that loud,
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
So you bring your sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. What verse you at?
Verse 11.
All right. Go down to verse 15. We're going to get 15 and 16. Because basically what we skipping over right here is the step-by-step processes of what we do when we have our harvest. But being that we're in this captivity, and speaking in general, Israel don't really have crops that they growing and animals that they're raising up, nor do we have a temple to bring these things to. To do the step-by-step process is at this point in time impossible until we get that temple back. So we're gonna go into the spiritual meaning behind all of this, right? But go ahead and read that.
This is verse 15 in Leviticus 23. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, seven Sabbath shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the seventh Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh.
So that's a day after the Sabbath, 7 Sabbaths, that's 50 days. Then number another 50 days, and that's when you observe your feast. All right, and it's important that we know when to observe the feast, and that we know to come together and bring these things into remembrance. All right, but like I said before, a lot of us, for the most part, wouldn't have these things to offer. We wouldn't have crops. We wouldn't have animals to that degree where we would be doing this sort of thing. So some people might say, well, this is really pointless. It's all for nothing at this point. As a matter of fact, I had somebody in my messages just the other day talking about in captivity we can't keep the law. But that's the kind of mentality that's going to keep us out the kingdom. All right, we have to remember these laws. We have to rehearse the righteous acts, man. Give me Job 5 and 20.
It's the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 20. If famine, in famine he shall redeem thee from death.
So in famine, we're going to be redeemed from death. All right, so while we're in this captivity and we don't have anything, the same excuse people is making as far as why we can't do these things, this is where we're going to be delivered from death, in famine. Read.
And in war from the power of the sword.
And in war from the power of the sword. Man, the country's on fire right now. There's all kinds of riots and lootings and killings and all kinds of stuff going on right now. People is panic buying guns and ammo and buying up all the toilet paper and food. It's like a war zone out here in America these days, man. But this is where we're gonna get delivered from. All right? Give me Psalm 27 and 3.
Book of Psalms, chapter 27, verse 3. Though an host should encamp against thee,
though a host should encamp against me. Though a host should encamp against thee, a host is an army. You got the police forces out here. You got the National Guard being deployed in different cities, martial law being declared, states of emergency, curfews, all kinds of stuff going on. Though a host be gathered against you, read.
My heart shall not fear.
My heart shall not fear. If you in the truth, you shouldn't be scared of nothing that's going on right now. If you in the truth, you know all this got to go on for us to get what we need to get. So as scary as it might be for some people, it's necessary. All right. So our hearts don't fear. Read.
Though war should rise against me, In this will I be confident.
So even though war rise against us, in this we're confident, man. And why are we confident? Because we have the law, statutes, and commandments, and the faith in the Most High God and His only begotten Son at our side. All right? And with those things, we can't fail. If God be for us, who could be against us? Right? Give me Exodus 23 and 16. We're going to go back to the law real quick, because a lot of people will say, oh, well, you know, I could just remember this from my own home, and I don't have to deal with nobody. I don't have to be around people. I don't really like the brothers in my area. I don't really like the sisters in my area. Read.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 23, verse 16. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. Verse 17. 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord Yahweh. Thou shalt not.
That's it on that. So 3 times a year all the males shall appear before the Lord Yahweh. All right. That was 3 times a year. Wherever we were, we had to get back to Jerusalem and go meet up at the temple. Now, granted, we don't have a temple right now, so the least you can do is gather together with the brothers in your area. And don't just say, oh, well, you know, I'm SICARRI, so I'm going to gather with SICARRI, or I'm UPK, so I'm going to gather with UPK, or and not saying that they do that, because I know brothers invite brothers to their events all the time. I'm just using different names as an example. Regardless of your camp, or if you even got a camp, if you got brothers in the area, you're supposed to be gathering with them. All right, you're supposed to be brotherly with your fellow Israelites. All right, and not just the ones you like, not just the ones you agree with everything on. Gather with your brothers. Your people are your people, regardless. All right. Give me Romans 8 and 23. Romans 8 and 23, because all this is not for nothing. All right. There's a spiritual meaning behind these things. Go ahead.
The book of Romans chapter 8 verse 23. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit.
That have the first fruits of the Spirit. Read.
Even we ourselves grown within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body.
And we're waiting for that adoption. What is that adoption? It's Yahushua coming back and saving us from up out of here, taking us to where we belong. All right? To redeem our bodies. We're waiting for that redemption. We're waiting for that adoption. All right? And this all has to do with the fruits of the Spirit. And if anybody's ever read Galatians 5, you should know what the fruits of the Spirit are. All right? And it's not just Galatians 5, it's all over the Bible. Give me 2 Ezra 3 and 20. And 21 as well.
3 and 20. It's the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 3, verse 20. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them.
So he didn't take away our wicked heart, that the law might bring forth fruit in us. All right? It's through the laws, statutes, and commandments that you bear the fruits of the Spirit. Read.
Con. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed.
For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed. Keep that in mind. The first Adam. Read.
And was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him. Thus, infirmity was made permanent, and the law also.
That's right. You can stop right there, brother.
Okay.
So, the first Adam went off. All right. And all that be of the flesh are going off just like him. All right. But there's a second Adam, Yahushua. And that's who we supposed to be living after. That's who we supposed to be like. Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 47. Let me go get 48 as well.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 47. The first man is of the earth, earthly.
The first man is of the earth, earthly. You read the book of Genesis, you see how Adam was first formed. How it puts it that he was formed from the dust of the earth. Read.
The second man is the Lord of heaven.
And the second man is the Lord of heaven, okay? Adam being formed of the dust of the earth is metaphorical, right? He was brought up from a lowly estate. And a lot of us in the truth today, all right? Never mind the damn Christians and Catholics and Muslims and all them. I'm talking about Hebrew brothers with Hebrew names and fringes and all that stuff. Still earthly, still lowly, still like Adam. Read.
Verse 48, as is the earthly, such are they also that are earthly.
As is the earthly, so are they, man. They are all earthly. Read. They're low.
And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly.
See, and that's why Yahweh Shai is our example, and we're supposed to live after him so we can be heavenly. So we can be the ones that say, I am from above and you are from below. All right? What verse was that?
48.
Okay, come on. Give me John 15 and 12. It's like I said, man, we got to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. We got to keep the faith in Yahweh Shai and his our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. And in keeping these commandments, we also have to do what Yahweh Shai commanded. So let's see what Yahweh Shai commanded in the spirit of coming together for the Feast of First Fruits and just being brothers and sisters to one another in general. Read.
It's the book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
See, this is his commandment, that we love one another like he loved us. Now, did he ever say, oh, no, I can't rock with you because you was a zealot, or I can't rock with you because you was a Pharisee, or I can't rock with you because you was this or you was that? No, all right? You were an Israelite, you were willing to get in order, you were willing to keep the commandments, you could follow Yahweh Shai. Straight up, you can follow Yahweh Shai, all right? And that's how we got to be with all our brothers. I wish we had more brothers here today from all different congregations, because there's other congregations down here in Phoenix where brothers act, kind of funny sometimes. They don't want to get together, but hopefully we can get over that. We can get over that hump and get through this thing together, because we all working for the same penny. Start that again from the top.
Okay. This is St. John chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
No, love one another as you see fit, or love one another when it's convenient for you. No, none of this stuff was convenient for Yahweh Shai if you read your Bible. This man shed his blood, was tortured, whipped, and mocked, and spit on, and all kinds of stuff. Stabbed up, hung up on a damn cross for people that didn't even consider him. And we got Israelites that got the nerve to say, oh, well, I would be brotherly, but I don't like the way he did this or he did that, or she did this or she did that. Damn all that. Yahweh Shai is supposed to be our example, right? So we do what he says and we do what he did. And what he did was show us the way. And we are to love each other like he loved us. Go ahead and read.
Verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
See that? There's no greater love than that. That a man lay his life down for his friends. One thing, especially here in the West, especially here in the United States of America, the word friend is thrown around like it don't have no goddamn meaning. Somebody sends you a little message on Facebook, oh yeah, that's my friend. You work with somebody, oh yeah, that's my friend. Don't know nothing about him, wouldn't do nothing for him, and he wouldn't do nothing for you probably. Or if you do have friends, how good a friend are you? How good a goddamn friend are you? When you reach out and give alms and salute brothers and sisters that you like, that you mess with only, the publicans in the publicans in the Bible did the same damn thing. Yahweh Shai wasn't just reaching out to the people he liked. Yahweh Shai was reaching out to his people. Period. Go ahead.
Verse 14. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants.
Go ahead. You can stop at 14.
Okay.
So you are Yahweh Shai's friend if you do whatsoever he commands you. It's a major, major, major thing that Abraham was called Yahweh's friend. But the way we throw friend around here on this side of the world, it's like he just knew him. He just knew him by his first name. Oh yeah, I seen him before, that's my friend. It's not your friend. It's not your friend. Abraham did everything Yahweh told him to do. Everything. Whether he wanted to do it or not. Down to slaughtering his own son. he was willing to do that. Who would be willing to do that for any of your friends? Who would be willing to give their own life up for any of their friends? As a matter of fact, some people might be sitting at home saying, you know, I give my life for my friends. Well, that's easy, because you give your life, you're dead, you're gone, you don't got to worry about nothing. But who's willing to suffer for their damn friends, man?
Right.
Who's willing to suffer for people that you don't even really know, but you know is your people? Who's willing to be that kind of friend? Yahushua was. What's taking us so goddamn long? A lot of people playing around, man. A lot of people's playing around. People falling out with their brothers and making slander videos and making up lies and going to other people and backbiting and, oh, I'm gonna get these people to be against this person or this person be against those people. You sowing seeds of discord, man. You are the devil. You are the damn devil. Give me Luke 10 and 25. We're gonna go over a conversation that was had, man. It was very telling, means a lot, and everybody should hear it.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 25. And behold,
we're gonna go all the way to 37, but I'm gonna,
it's Luke 10 and 25. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?
So this lawyer comes to Yahushua and says, Master, he greets him as his master. Says, what should I do to inherit eternal life? Read.
He said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou?
He said, what did you read in the law? Go ahead.
He answering said, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul,
right,
and with all thy strength and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
And thy neighbor as thyself, right? Read.
And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live.
He said, this do, and thou shalt live. Period. No asterisk on it. No, only in this case or that case. He said, this, you do it, and you will live. Read.
Verse 29. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Yahushua, and who is my neighbor?
He said, wait a minute now, but who is my neighbor? Who is my neighbor? Say, okay, love Yahweh, no problem. Love Most High God, no problem. Love my neighbor as myself, I got it, but who's my neighbor? Keep in mind the dynamic that's going on during this time. Our kingdom done split. Most of us done went away into idolatry and other captivities. Even the southern kingdom at this point had fallen largely into Hellenization and gone after other gods and all kinds of other madness. But even those of us that were still gathered together, like we can read in Acts 10, we only dealt with who we dealt with. Notice in the Bible, you go from reading about Israelites, and all of a sudden it's Jews. All of a sudden it's Jews. Jews not everybody. Jews not all of Israel. So now this man with that mindset is saying, well, okay, but wait a minute now, who's my neighbor? These brothers right here around me in Jerusalem is my neighbor. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 30. And Yahushua answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho.
So a certain man went down from Jerusalem, a place that this man will be well acquainted with, down to Jericho. Go ahead.
And fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead.
So they beat him up, stripped him down, robbed him, damn near killed him, left him for dead. Read.
And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by the other side.
You see that? So a priest passed by this man, saw him, just minded his own business, just kept it moving. Read.
Verse 32. And likewise a Levite.
And likewise another Levite. Read.
When he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side.
He came and looked on him and passed by at the other side. Keep in mind now, this is a priest and another Levite, right? These would be people that this man would be quick to say, oh yeah, that's my neighbor. We in Jerusalem, they're the priests. I know them. We do the same things. We believe the same things. We teach the same things. We live after the same things. That's my neighbor. But those other Israelites that we calling Gentiles now, hey, them is Gentiles. You done heard it a million times in a whole bunch of different videos. Oh, I hate the damn 2/3. I can't wait till the 2/3 die. And you a 2/3 and you a 2/3, not knowing who gonna make it, who not.
Right.
But labeling everybody a damn 2/3. It's the same thing. Or if you're not in my school, then we can't talk to you. If you're not in this camp, you just something else. You're not with us. This is the same mindset that Yahushua is trying to break. All right, with this example that he's giving. A priest passed by, didn't pay him no mind. A Levite passed by, didn't pay him no mind. Read.
Okay. Verse 33. But a certain Samaritan.
Now, who was predominantly in Samaria at this time? Who were the Samaritans? Anybody? We got an answer? Ephraim in particular. Ephraim in particular, right? So a certain Samaritan, one that we would have called a Gentile back then, passed by, and what happened?
As he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
He had compassion on him. So this would be the equivalent of if you were hurt, somebody beat you up, robbed you, damn near killed you, stripped you naked, left you for dead, and a brother from your camp walked by and didn't do nothing about it, and another brother walked by who was in the truth, didn't do nothing about it. But here's another Israelite who's not in the truth. Here's another Israelite that don't live after your ways, that you would want to reject because they're not your people, that you would want to cast off as a 2/3 because he don't live after you, which he should. He should be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, but that doesn't mean he's not your brother, all right? What did the Samaritan do?
Verse 34. And went to him and bound up his wounds.
Went to him and bound up his wounds. Read.
Pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast.
So he not only bound up the wounds, dressed the wounds, and set him on his own beast. What would that be like today if a Christian rode by and seen you hurting and bandaged you up and put alcohol on it for you and put you in his car, a bloody damn mess, still put you in his own car. Read.
And brought him to an inn and took care of him.
And brought him to an inn who took care of him. Read.
And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence.
So not only did he take him to a place to get taken care of, he stayed there with him. And then upon leaving, took 2 pence and what?
And gave them to the host.
Gave them to the host of the inn. Read.
And said unto him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee.
So now he's coming out of his own pocket, putting the money down and saying, look after this guy, and if you have to spend more than what I gave you to take care of him, I'm coming back and I'm paying it back. I'm paying it all back. When the priest didn't do a goddamn thing, when the Levite wouldn't do a goddamn thing, this Samaritan came through and saved the damn day. Was a brother to this man. Read.
Verse 36. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves?
So now Yahushua is asking, after this story that I just gave you, which of these 3 people, the priest, the Levite, or the Samaritan, was actually a neighbor to this man that got jacked up by these thieves? What the man said?
And he said, he that shewed mercy on him. Then said Yahushua unto him, go and do thou likewise.
Go and do thou likewise. Be that Samaritan. Be that guy. Don't be the guy that preaches good things and does bad things. Don't be the guy that, wants to look like he's keeping all the laws but don't help no damn body. Be the guy that's helping people and keep the laws. This is what he's telling them to do. This is a commandment. As a matter of fact, if that Samaritan was raised up not following Yahweh, not being circumcised, not knowing nothing from nothing, he still kept the law in helping that man. He still kept the law in helping that man. That's also in Romans 2. If what did it say? If the Gentiles that know not the law keep the law, you know what I'm saying? The law unto himself. That's right. That's right. So it's not just a show they putting on. This is something that he's actually doing from his heart, from his mind, that he wants to do, not because he's told he has to do it, but because it's the right thing to do. We should be keeping these laws because it's the right thing to do. We should be gathering together with our brothers because it's the right thing to do. Our sisters should be sisterly to one another because it's the right thing to do. Not because a bunch of priests are going to pick up stones and kill you if you don't. Not because Yahweh's coming back or sending Yahushua back with a sword for you if you don't. Do it because it's the right thing to do. Of course, these things are true too. If you don't do it, death come with that. But that's not supposed to be the only motivator. All right? You're supposed to do it because you want to serve the Most High God. It says that the love of God is that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous. We don't have to force ourselves to go against the grain. If everything feels like a fight to you, then you ain't got it yet.
Right.
You ain't got it. If you can't look at your brother and see yourself, you missing it. Give me Ecclesiasticus. We'll go to the Apocrypha. Give me Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 7.
Call the verses as you go.
Ecclesiastes 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
See that? Like I was saying before, a lot of our people run around saying, oh, this my friend, that my friend, that my friend. Don't even know what a friend is. Don't even know what a friend does. All right? So be not hasty to credit a friend. Because maybe you are doing these things that Yahushua said to do. But that don't mean that the next man is doing it. So don't be so hasty to credit a friend now. Go ahead.
Verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
For some is a friend for his own occasion, for his own benefit. Read.
And will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Now, when you get messed up, when you're in trouble, he's not there for you. Just like that priest that we read about. Just like that Levite that we read about. They wasn't there for that man. They be a friend in their own occasion. Yeah, when we turning up and we partying and we having drinks and we having lamb and we having a good time. Oh yeah, everybody around, everybody down. But then when things start getting rocky, things start getting hard, they start skating on you. They start turning their back on you. That's not really a friend. And keep in mind, I'm saying this in this context, but this works in the reverse as well. Because maybe you're not being a friend. It's very easy to get caught up in our own lives and what we do and try to make excuses for why we do this and why we do that. But there is no asterisk on this law. You do it. Period. The man tried to say, well, who's my neighbor? Yahushua said, do it, man. Do it and you will live. Not, oh, well, I would have been a brother to that guy, but, you know, if I wasn't such and such and such and such. Or I would have been a brother to that sister, but, you know, if it wasn't this, that, or whatever. Nah, man. Yahushua not coming back waiting for y'all to line up and give him a bunch of damn excuses. Yahushua is coming back to kill and save. Period. You either going to be on the right or you're going to be on the left. That's it. Read and call your verse.
Ecclesiastes 6 and 9.
You want 8 or 9?
Ecclesiastes 6 and 9.
Okay, just go to 10. Just go to 10.
Yeah, I can. Verse 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
It's like I said, man. When it's a party, when it's a feast, that's when everybody want to come around. All right. That's when everybody want to come around. When it's hardship and it's pain, that's when brothers start turning on brothers. That's when sisters start turning on sisters. When it gets inconvenient, when it gets hard, when it gets painful. All right. When the martial law troops is rolling down your street and they're saying, "Hey, where are them Hebrew Israelites that was out there preaching on the corner?" Oh, there they go, right over there. Oh, but y'all was just kicking it with us and saluting us out the car and honking your horn and, oh, good job, brothers. Oh, but there he is right over there. There they go. There they go. Read. Oh, wait, what was that? Verse 10?
Yeah, that was verse 10.
That was verse 10? Yeah, we can go to verse 17.
Verse 17, Ecclesiastes 6 and 17. Whoso feareth Yahweh shall direct his friendship aright.
So those who fear Yahweh, those who keep Yahweh's laws, are going to direct their friendship aright. Why? Because the law states what you're supposed to do with your people. The law states how you're supposed to treat your friends, your neighbors, and your brothers and sisters. All right, so that's how you direct your friendship aright. So more on that?
For For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
So as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. If we were out here actually doing this, we could be examples to people. But what are we doing? We set ourselves up as watchmen, and we hit the highways and byways and get on these streets and show people, look, this is how you do it. You stand in formation and in order. You wear your fringes. You don't shave your beard. You don't sleep with the next man's wife. But then you get around us, and what we doing? Backbiting each other? Pulling brothers aside and saying, oh man, you know, I mean, look, man, you know, you can join them if you want to, but I'm about to leave. I don't want to really mess with them because this brother do this and this brother do that. And look, and maybe something they saying is true, but then you should go to that brother and tell him, look, brother, you messing up because you doing this and you doing that. Don't go to the next damn man about it. And half the damn time it don't be true. Oh, this brother doing this and that, and he ain't even doing that. And a lot of you doing this stuff, man, y'all don't fear the Most High, and the Most High is gonna kill you.
That's right.
I can't stress that enough. He's going to kill you and laugh at you. Let's try to let's get a few more things, man. Let's get some parables real quick. Let's get a parable. Go to Matthew 13 and 24.
Book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 24.
I'm gonna read down to 30. All right, go ahead.
Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field.
So the kingdom of heaven, that's us, that's the people, right? Is likened unto a man that sowed good seed in his field. Read.
But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way.
He sowed tares among the wheat. If you've ever seen a tare and you've ever seen wheat, they look very similar. It's hard to tell them apart, all right? And they growing together, and the tare is a weed. The weed is gonna suck the nutrients out of the good seed, out of the good fruit, out of the good plant, all right? And you don't want that because the tare is useless. The wheat can feed your family. Read.
Verse 26, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
So then appeared the tares also. They're all growing together. The seeds is already in the ground mixed in, and the blades already sprung up. Read.
Come on, verse 27. So the servants of the householders came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares?
So where'd these tares come from? Didn't you sow good seed? Go ahead.
Come on. He said unto them, an enemy hath done this.
So an enemy crept in and did this. The owner of the field said, the enemy hath done this. Go ahead.
The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? Verse 29, but he said, Nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
You see that? He said, well, why don't we just go snatch these tares up right now? And like I said, they look very similar. The man said, no, don't do that, because then you're liable to pick up some of the wheat too, and cast off some of the wheat too. We don't want to lose the wheat. Read.
Verse 30. Let both grow together until the harvest.
Let both grow together until the harvest. What day are we in right now? We in the Feast of First Fruits, where we deal with harvesting. Pay attention. Read.
And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them.
So when the reapers come, they're going to take first the tares, the bad fruit, the bad seed, bind them up together and burn them. Read.
But gather the wheat into my barn.
Go down to verse 37. Go read the 40. Because Yahushua is going to explain the meaning of this parable. All right, go ahead.
Verse 37, he answered and said unto them, he soweth the good seed. He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
So he that sowed the good seed in that parable is Yahushua. It's the Son of Man. Read.
Verse 38, the field is the world.
The field is the world. Read.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
And the good seed are the children of the kingdom. Those that are doing the right things. Those that are loving their brothers and sisters. Those that are loving the Most High God. Read.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one. Read.
Verse 39. The enemy that sowed them is the devil.
The devil is the one that sowed them among us. That's the enemy. Read.
The harvest is the end of the world.
And the harvest is what?
Is the end of the world.
The harvest is the end of the world. The Feast of First Fruits was alluding to this the whole time. The harvest is the end of the world. Read.
And the reapers are the angels.
And when the angels come down, they're going to separate the tares from the wheat. And they're going to determine who gets burned and who gets brought into the barn. Go ahead.
Verse 40. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire.
The tares are gathered and burned in the fire. Listen, if y'all been listening to this lesson at all, and this has cut you at all, this should be terrifying to you right now. Terrifying. Gathered and burned. Read.
So shall it be in the end of this world.
So shall it be in the end of this world. And you don't know when that's coming, so you better act like it's on the way.
Right.
You ain't got no time left to prepare, so get it right. Give me Matthew 25 and 34. We're gonna read the 46. 25 and 34.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them.
Now who's our king? Hamashiach Yahushai, right? We all talk about how we're one body in Christ. No man, no male or female, we all one in Christ, right? We the body, right? Read.
On his right hand, come, ye blessed of my Father.
He said on his right hand, said, come ye blessed of my Father. This is the wheat. Read.
Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
So these are the people that are inheriting the kingdom. Read.
For I was and hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink.
So I was hungry, you gave me meat. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. Read.
I was a stranger, and ye took me in.
You housed me, you took me in. These are all wonderful things to do for somebody. Read.
Verse 36. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
See that? Now this is the king talking. I was poor. I was hungry. You fed me. You gave me drink. You didn't know me, and you let me into your house. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Keep this in mind. This is a king speaking. When you ever seen your king in prison, poor and hungry and begging and all this stuff, man? Read.
Verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink?
The righteous is looking confused. When do we ever do these things for you? Read.
When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or verse 39. Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, or came unto thee?
So when did we do any of these things for you? What are you talking about? Read.
Verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it insomuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
So the king, Yahushua, said, as much as you have done it unto the least of my brethren. Keep that in mind, the least. Not the one you like the best, not the one whose videos you like to watch, not the one who cracked the best jokes at Passover. None of that stuff, man. The least. The one you didn't want to do it for. The one you didn't want to kick it with. The one you didn't really like being around or just didn't have a lot of fun with. Didn't know. Whatever. As much as you have done it to the least of your brethren, you have done it also to Yahushua. Read.
Verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed.
See, he's going to say to them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed. On the right hand, they inherited the kingdom, and he's telling them they did all these great things for him. They're looking confused, like, when did we do that? He said, you did it to me when you did it to your people. And the people on the left-hand side, the people that didn't do all those things. Keep all this in context. The people who didn't do all these things. Depart from me, ye accursed. Is that what you want to hear when Yahushua come back? That ain't what I want to hear. Read.
Into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels.
Into the fire, man. Into the fire. Read.
Verse 42, for I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat.
See that? I was hungry, you didn't give me no meat. Read.
I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink.
You looked right over me while I was dying of thirst. Read.
Verse 43, I was a stranger, and ye took me not in, naked, and ye clothed me not, sick, and in prison, and ye visited me not.
See that? These are the people that are not doing these things for their people. Read on.
Verse 44, then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick?
They're asking the same questions. Wait a minute, what you mean? When did we ever see you in this position for us to even help you out? Read.
Or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, verily I say unto you, insomuch as ye did it. It's like it.
Go ahead, read.
It's Matthew 25:45. Then shall he answer them, saying, verily I say unto you, insomuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me.
You see that? Insomuch as you did it not to the least of these, you didn't do it for me. Read.
Verse 46, and these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal.
So if you want that eternal life, and you don't want that everlasting punishment and that everlasting shame, you're going to have to do right by your people. All the time. All your people. All right? Look, if you don't want to do it, that's something you got to check within yourself. If you're not willing to be a brother or a sister to the next Israelite, for whatever reason, that reason is yours, not his or hers. Period. It's time we stop making excuses because we've been in this captivity too damn long already. And I'm about sick of it. I'm sure some of y'all are as well. If you ready to go home, start treating each other like you want to. And not just, oh, well, I'll do it if he do it, or I'll do it if she do it. You just do it. I don't give a damn who else is wrong. You be right. Because ain't nobody going to be right if we all look at it like that. All right? So let's conclude with 1 John 4 and 20. And get 21 as well.
It's the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
So if a man say, I love God, but I hate my brother, that man is a liar. Read.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
See that? You don't even have the ability to love the Most High God if you can't even love your brother that's right there with you. That done labored with you, did the work with you, or maybe it wasn't even that deep. Somebody you just see in passing. You at least know that person exists and you totally disregard them. You see that person in the flesh. It says a wicked generation seeketh after a sign. You got all the signs this man exists. He's right there. He's right there. And you mean to tell me you can't love him, but you can love an invisible God that you've never even seen? Bullshit. Read.
Verse 21, and these commandments have we from him, that he hath loved God, love his brother also.
So we have that commandment from him, that he that loved God, love his brother also. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.